Okay, so this is going to be the Capricorn reading for the month of July 2023. So anyone with prominent Capricorn placements in your birth chart, thank you so much for being here. I am time stamping the video, so that way if you're not interested in the astrology portion, you can just go straight to the tarot reading. But I am going to go into a little bit of the astrology today, just covering the moon cycle so we can get an overall theme of what we should expect for the month of July. And then if you are interested in more astrology, I do more of a breakdown week by week. So I do the weekly astrology and tarot readings for each element every week. And here I do break down the astrology that comes through on a weekly basis. So instead of cramming it all into one video, I just break it out in that way, if that makes sense. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, so that way you can catch those videos as they come through as well. So on July 3rd, we do have a full moon in Capricorn. So I think that this is going to be a really awesome time for all Capricorns. It's sort of like you are the star of the show right now. And, you know, the rest of the zodiac will have to sort of give in to the Capricorn energy at this time. And so we are going to, or the theme for the month is going to be around what is really important to us and what we truly value. So we are looking at our time, our energy, and money resources that we are investing into things at this time. So it's like taking stock of that and making sure that, you know, we are working smart and we are working towards something. And we are not wasting time. As you know, with this Capricorn energy, wasting or waste period is, you know, not something that you pretty much put up with, right? Or the Capricorn energy puts up with. So, you know, if it comes to the efforts that you're putting in and you're not gaining any results out of it, it's a quick stop and a quick change in priority, right? So it's a very results-oriented energy as well as a very work-oriented energy, and we are going to feel pretty determined. And you know, when it comes to getting things done, it's more consistency and dependability as well during this time. So then we go into July 17th, and here in the middle of the month is when the new moon comes through in Cancer. So every Cancer season, the full moon is in Capricorn and the new moon is in Cancer. It's just how it works every year, right? So during this time, when the new moon comes into Cancer, we are talking about initiating something. This is a new start, planting a seed, and the beginning stage of something that we think or feel that we are emotionally tied to, something that is emotionally fulfilling to us. Usually our family and homes come into play here. There may be a higher emphasis on your mother or you being a mother or a parent. And then also, therefore, your children play a big role. So at this point, mid-July, since we are already thinking about what is important to us, I do think that here we sort of filter it down to the fact that, you know, it's love, it's people that are in our circle, people that we care about, people that we care about us. Usually that's who we consider family. And home, right? What is home? Who is home? Where is home? The concept of home coming through here as well. So you may be just a little bit more in tune with your emotional state during this time as well. And your internal instincts and intuition also. On the same day, on July 17th, we do have the nodes of the moon moving from the Taurus-Scorpio axis into the Aries-Libra axis. So here, the nodes of the moon talk about what we should be embracing and moving toward, and then also what we should be releasing and letting go. So with the new moon, with the North Node moving into Aries, we will be embracing individuality and the whole I am concept of who am I aside from or separate from certain relationship dynamics. Now this will play out differently for everyone, of course. But yeah, we are thinking about, you know, who are we? How are we showing up? Who are we as a soul, as a being, as a human, you know, on our own, doing something on our own for ourselves during this time will be of you know, high importance here as well. Not needing the support or not needing to fall on others, right? Because with the South Node, we are moving away from who am I with another, right? In Libra, it is about you and me, whereas in Aries, it is about just me, if that makes sense. So we're looking into doing something on our own for ourselves, not with the assistance or support or opinions or permission of other people, if that makes sense. So we're thinking about independence versus dependence. I do think that a lot of the codependent relationships will start to fizzle out here just because we are embracing more of an independent individuality. And we are working towards something that we've never really done before with this North Node in Aries. It's a new concept. It's a new start. And so I do think that whatever direction we will be guided to go on during this year and a half will be a direction that has not been crossed, has not been walked on, you know, by us personally before. So it's something that's going to be pretty, you know, brand new for us in our lifetime. But we do feel a strong call to do it, and to do it by ourselves. So just heavy emphasis on doing something alone, right? For myself, by myself, without the permission, opinion, support, like all of those things that we get from our social circles or our support systems. Not to say that you will be moving away from those support systems, right? Like from your family and your friends. It's just more, this is something I have to do for me, and it's not personal to anyone else but me. And I think that throughout the next year and a half, while the nodes are here, we will be feeling this more so when the nodes hit up on a major planet, and make a big aspect to a planet. So for instance, I think right now, I am recording July 1st. We have the North Node is still in Taurus, and it is at the last degrees of Taurus. And so it is making a square to Pluto in Capricorn. Actually, it's not a square, it's a trine to Pluto in Capricorn. So for the Capricorns, I think that, you know, you will see or feel this a little strongly right now, starting the month of July, like wanting to take a new step, or there is something that, you know, you kind of feel called to do, like the universe is pushing you toward a certain direction that feels a little foreign or new, just because the North Node should be moving into Aries this month. So it's not already there, but at the same time, it's on its way, if that makes sense. So there's like a little tiny fire maybe within your gut or within your instinct that is like, like there is something that my soul is saying to me. And I think that, you know, mid-July going into August, you'll start to see that or feel that more and more clearly. Alrighty, so that is the astrology I wanted to cover for today. Again, if you're interested in more of the astrology for the month, check out my weekly readings, and you can get more details on that then. Alright, so let's go into the personal energy for the Capricorn for the month of July, please. Capricorn. Okay. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands. So there's probably a lot going on. You have a lot around you that needs to get done. Maybe a lot of tasks, errands, responsibilities, starting or during July, actually. Probably a lot of things going on this month for you. I would watch how you are thinking about your current situation and make sure that you are being very clear and clean mentally. And there is something that will be tempting you this month as a distraction. So it's like you're working on something, you have a lot to do. Like I say, it feels like there's a lot of activity happening this month for you. But at the same time, you may have a temptation to distract yourself with other things that are probably not important. So remember that theme of the month with the full moon in Capricorn, making sure that we are investing our time, our energy, our efforts, our resources, and our money on things that are actually important to us and add value. So I think that you are on that course and you're on that roll, but something is also like there's a little thing on your shoulder saying like, look at me, right? Like some sort of distraction, if that makes sense. I also feel a sense of learning something new this month as well. You want to be careful with your thought process and make sure that you stay high vibe and optimistic and positive, because something can happen during the month. Maybe if you get burnt out or too bombarded with things, that'll cause your thoughts to shift into a more cynical, negative, pessimistic outlook. So going back to making sure that, you try your best to just eliminate distraction, eliminate low-level thoughts, eliminate the self-talk, the negative self-talk. See the best in a situation. Try not to complain. I mean, if you find yourself complaining, and this is just like as a general rule for people who complain, if you find yourself complaining, that's already your indicator that you're not supposed to be doing what you're doing, or you're not supposed to, be where you're at, right? Type of thing. So just make sure that you're not complaining for the sake of complaining because you feel not like unsatisfied, and pinpoint your emotions with this Cancer Capricorn axis, right? The opposite signs here, and Cancer just having a really good understanding of what their emotions are and what they're feeling. It'll be, it's always a little bit difficult for the Capricorn energy to really dive into the emotional aspects of things. So if you feel that is coming up this month, especially with that new moon coming through on the 17th, and you're not too sure how to handle it, so therefore you want to react or act out because you don't know what you're feeling, just take a step back, do some breath work, release these thoughts, right? Try to ground yourself. What is really important? Going back, what is really important right now? What is true? What is real? What is reality? Because it feels like there's a bubble up of emotion and feeling coming through, and you don't really know where it's coming from. And so it's like going toward the negative. And it also feels like just real unsatisfied or really fussy type of energy at some point this month as well. So when you feel fussy, it's like, what is that? Why is that showing up? What do I have to release? Basically, at the end of the day, it's always energy built up when that happens. And so why is this energy built up? Do some exercise, go outside, take a walk, go for a run, release energy, build up. So that way you can get a better handle of what you're feeling and really be clear about it in your mind. So there's a need for the heart and the mind to sort of come together this month and be on the same page. So yeah, there's a lot I feel for the Capricorn coming through for the month of July on a 3D level as well as a internal spiritual level. Maybe not spiritual, but more emotional. What happened here? Interesting. All right, what is in the environment for the Capricorn for the month of July, please? I also want to add that the Devil is the Capricorn card. So, I mean, it's also, if you can control this and use your darkness and turn it into power and liberation and, you know, controlling yourself and how you react to your environment, doing something about a situation. Yeah, it's just like being very centered, trying your best to just be centered, grounded, aligned, not allowing things to distract you, not allowing things to affect you. And really, like, even though the Devil can come through as distraction, it's also like your power. Like being in your power, being in control of you, being real strong and steady, you know, and not allowing things to come and mess with you and what you have going on this month either. It's like seeing these things. If something wants to come in and disrupt your life or your alignment, you can see it coming already. And you're like meeting it head on before it goes too far. I'm also feeling that as well. And just really trusting in yourself. Trusting in the fact that you are the creator of your life. And there's no doubts around that. The Capricorn energy is really, really powerful in my opinion. When it comes to like the sovereignty that one can have. You know, like it's sort of like the Capricorn is their own god, and there's like full faith in the fact that they are that person to themselves. What is in the environment, please? All right, so you have recognition and accomplishment. Maybe in a work environment, something that you have been working on is asking for a transformation or a shift or a change of some sort. Maybe you've been working on this thing, or there's a project at work, or you've had this job or something like that, and you're doing really well in it, and you are getting good results, and you are receiving accolades, and you're being noticed for a job well done, stuff like that, because of your hard work and dedication here. But there's also something coming through around a change as well. Like, what is it that needs to be transformed in the month of July in your environment? Maybe you, in July, like, you're spending a lot of time focused on your work, that there is another element of your life that needs to be looked at, that needs to be acknowledged and dealt with. And it feels as though you're not ready to really dive in and invest your time in this right now. Or this could be someone else also. But overall, I mean, it feels really good. You have the Devil and the Death card. It's interesting. It's a little darkness coming through this month. More dark power, though. Dark power. I'm just curious, before I go further, can you just clarify the Death card for me? Wish fulfillment. Having everything you want. Maybe the transformation is the fact that you, like, it's just a moment of awareness when you get the results that you're looking for something that you've been working really, really hard on. Maybe this card of the Death Rebirth is not necessarily the process already. Maybe it's just the awareness that you already went through that process and you're on the other side of it now. You're on the other side, like you've already been reborn. Something's already transformed. Something's already changed. Holy moly. I guess that's what it is, because the cards exploded. Okay. We'll leave that at that. All right, let's go into the month now and sort of go beginning, middle, and end of the month and see what's coming through. What else does Capricorn need to know for the month of July 2023, please? Okay, so you have the King of Swords and the Lovers here. So there's a choice that you had to make, or that you may need to make at the beginning of the month. And it does ask you to be extremely truthful. There's something about you being truthful towards something. And then there's an element around you just like being really truthful about what it is that you want so you can make this decision. The Lovers card, when you're in the energy of the Lovers, this is when you feel like everything is perfect. Like you are in, like it's a euphoric feeling of like overwhelming gratitude and being connected with the universe and knowing that, you know, your life as it stands in this present moment cannot be any better, right? Like you're super grateful, super thankful, super happy. Everything you see and touch is like perfect. So maybe there's a you being really clear on what path, what decision you need to make in order to get the Lovers, in order to feel the Lovers, to have your life feel like you are sitting in this like sort of Garden of Eden, like perfection, perfect life type of thing. Or maybe you already feel that way starting July, like you know you're on the right track. Yeah, for sure. Emotional fulfillment here, Lovers, and the 10 of Cups. What Capricorn am I talking to right now? What Capricorn is coming through? Because you have the life. Congratulations, you are completely like blessed. We all are blessed, but you know. So emotional fulfillment. You have a really strong like sense of love in your life. The love energy, the love vibration is active, is strong in your surroundings, in your environment, within and without. Universal love, right? Like love of all things. Like the concept of God being love, the universe is love, we are love because we are the universe, right? Like cosmic love, universal love, if that makes sense, where it's all around you, within and without you. What else? Judgment card. At the beginning of the month, you're just aware of it. you've had this moment where you realize, like, because of a certain accomplishment that, and because of your hard work, dedication, like whatever it is that you've been working on, that like there's a moment where you are just present and you feel that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. No regrets. Wouldn't change a thing. If your life were this way every day for the rest of the time you have on this earth, you would be satisfied with that. Because there's gratitude coming through. Here, mid-month, this is the Queen of Cups. She is the Cancer card. So this is probably when the new moon comes through. With the new moon, like I said, there's always a beginning. It's something that you are just starting or initiating. So there's something new that you're going toward. It feels like a sense of accomplishment already. By mid-month, you've what is the word? You have just sort of like celebrated your accomplishments, felt them, you know, processed them, processed the moment, all of that good stuff. And then by mid-month, it's like, okay, what's next? Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to follow this emotional fulfillment. Whatever is coming through that you're starting has to do with making sure that you are emotionally connected to this thing, emotionally fulfilled by this thing. It's coming from a heart-centered place. Six of Wands, more accolades, more recognition, more achievement, achieving goals. Attention, there's a lot of attention on you this month. Something that you're really passionate about. If another person is coming through here mid-month, they recognize you, they recognize your value, they recognize your achievements, they see the work that you've put into something, they see your results, and they are gravitated toward you. They're excited to know you. They're excited to be around you, to like know your mind and know how it works. And I don't know, I just feel like two people exchanging it's not exchanging ideas, it's like, I guess, just getting to know one another, but like sharing who they are, you know, talking about how they got to where they are, talking about how they were able to achieve what they just achieved, like storytelling around, you know, someone's life experience, and talking about oneself, and also listening to another talk about themselves. If this is not another person, you just feel really, really passionate about something, and you want to go toward it. And this is probably that distraction that I was seeing. Maybe you feel as though it's a distraction. I don't know if it really is or not. You have to be very clear about that for yourself. But there's something that you're really excited about coming through mid-month. Here's a Death card again. So the transformative quality here is coming through at the end of the month. And there's the King of Wands that wanted to make its presence known, because he came out and then I put him back and he came out again. So who is this person and why are they coming through? King of Wands is someone who is like an elevated Knight of Wands. You know, so they have more experience, or maybe there is something that you're really passionate about mid-month, and you notice that there's some, like, you're not necessarily the best at it yet, or you're not necessarily the master of it yet, something like that. And so there's a need to change something up and change a certain behavior you have, change a certain pattern you have, change a certain mindset you have. If it's like a literal thing that you're working on, right? Like there's a project, or you're building something, or you're being very detail oriented with something, like there's a switch, there's a change that you need to make in order to go from being the Knight of Wands, which is really interested, really passionate about something, into the King of Wands, which is like a more realized form of the type of person, the type of behavior, the type of quality, the type of skill set that you need to have in order to master this thing that you are trying to build and work on, if that makes sense. So going from the Knight to the King, the way you do that is by some kind of change. And this could be so different for everybody. I don't even know what this is about necessarily, like the specifics. But the concept is the same. What else for the Capricorn, please, for end of month July? Here's the Queen. So you have the King and Queen of Wands. So this is about someone else. This is a definite match. You could be meeting your match at the end of the month. The Taurus reading also had the same concept at the end of the month, meeting their match. So I don't know if you have Taurus placements, or you know a Taurus or something like that, but check out that reading. What else? If it's not about another person, it's just the masculine, feminine dynamics within yourself sort of being aligned. And Justice. You have some big cards this month. And I think it's always a thing with the Capricorn readings where it's like, you know, or the Earth readings where they're always impacting. What is this about? So there's a karmic tie. There's something that if it's about you and another, two people need to meet. The universe knows this. The universe has set this up. The universe is like, okay, it's time for these two to come together. They have work to do in this lifetime. There's a reason two people are coming together here. It's like to fulfill a job. You know, some of us are put here on this planet, like whether we know it or not, because we're here to work. You know, yes, living the earth on earth and taking advantage of our senses and connecting with Gaia and nature and all of that is a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I am so grateful that I personally am here to experience all of that. But while I'm experiencing that, I do know that I was put here for a reason. Like I have a job to do here. And it does feel like that between these two people, like a karmic job, for like a universal job, right? Like it's time to do this thing. It may be a forever thing. It may be a moment in time. But for some reason, these two need to come together because they have a job to do. And yeah, that's like what they're meant to do. That's why they're meant to connect. For others, it's just more 3D, the earth realm here, reality. There is a transformation taking place between a male and female dynamics that it's like it's time to do this. The timing is now for this change to happen. It's still a karmic energy. For some of you, it's like there's an ending here between two people. And this relationship has run its course. For some of you, there's a meeting here, a beginning here with these two people, which is meant to happen as well. If you are in the government, like if you work in the government or you work, you know, for your city, or you are in a more professional type of environment, like professional, right? Like white collar, I would say. and you do that type of work in some way, shape, or form. It could be business, it could be anything like that. You may meet this person there. For some of you, there's an element of the government actually coming through here. So I know if you're married or you're getting divorced, or you're getting married, because justice also, you know, has to do with the law in reality. But yeah, let's see, what else is this? Any other information you can give me about this last row here for the end of the month for Capricorn? There's celebration here, so maybe some of you are coming together, meeting this person. Maybe some of you are actually getting married. But there's celebration. There's people coming together. Sorry, this fell on the floor. Celebration. I'm feeling childbirth. What else? Yeah, I mean, for some of you, there is a celebration of people coming together. For some of you, you're probably celebrating ending something. This is a weird energy for such a good reading. All of this sudden, the Five of Cups comes through, which indicates a loss of some sort. So this Death card, yes, although it's like endings as well, but it's usually transition. It's usually the moment of like the middle part of ending and beginning, right? Like this is the transformation happening. Why is the Five of Cups here? Ace of Wands, which is very similar to this Knight of Wands energy, where you are, you know, there's passion, there's something that you are really, really interested in. Three of Pentacles, this is communicating with somebody. Maybe somebody is not on the same page as you, and there's a feeling of being sad about that. Like you wanted someone to sort of, yeah, like you wanted someone to be on board with something and support you in some way, like whether it is literal support or moral support, or maybe somebody, maybe you're going through all of these accomplishments, but there's someone that you care about that did not really acknowledge that or make you feel good enough. Do you feel that you're not good enough on your own as well? That's another, something else I'm getting. Like you have accomplished so much, but is it still not enough? That's for some of you. And also, you have accomplished so much, and maybe there's someone in your environment who is making you feel like it's not enough. Which sucks if that's the case. I don't like how I'm feeling about that right now. Like, you need to know that whatever work you've done and you've put in, like, you don't need the recognition. You don't need like that need to be praised or acknowledged or recognized. Like maybe, for instance, it's like parents, right? Like someone you really look up to, and you work so hard on something, and then at the end of the day, like they don't make you feel like good job, right? Like they don't make you feel supported, and like, I don't know, like you just want them to be proud of you, right? And some people have parents that don't react that way or don't feel that way, and that's a shitty freaking feeling, you know? Like, and I understand that as the inner child in us needs that. if your parent is like that, maybe your parent wasn't like that when you were a kid either, right? So you work and work and work and work and work and work and work throughout your adult life to make them proud constantly. Like, that is one motivator for some people that did not have a good support system, a good loving family growing up, where they're constantly working to make somebody proud of them, because they're searching for that feeling, they're searching for that recognition and that acknowledgement. And that essentially is a trauma-based behavior that needs to be healed and needs to be looked at, you know, because at the end of the day, like, for those people, that is a real thing. But when you free yourself from that mental constraint of needing to prove yourself and needing others to be proud of you, when you free yourself from that, there's like, in reality, we don't need that. You know, that is just a mental thing. That's just like that's a mental way of thinking. That's something in your mind that feeds your emotion. But you don't literally need it. Okay, like, this is a feeling that you're yearning for. You can provide that feeling in other ways. This is based off of a trauma that you need to heal, that you need to face, to release it and free yourself. Like, essentially, it's freedom, it's liberation, like doing all the work because you want to, because you're passionate about it, because you feel that it's your soul calling, not doing the work because you think that it's going to make your mom and dad proud, right? Separating yourself from the family dynamics and all of these things. Yes, you still love your family, but you don't need their approval. You don't need their permission. You don't need them to, you know, make you feel like you're, what is it? Like, they're proud of you, right? Like, literally, you don't need that. Like, you live this life on your own for yourself. You create, you know, what you create in this life, and you build what you want to build in this life, and you do it for you, not for anybody else, right? Once you free yourself and liberate yourself from that, you know, then you will notice that you don't need the okay from others. And I feel that for whoever I'm speaking to, doesn't feel recognized enough, or doesn't feel like they are good enough, and even though they are literally going through accomplishment after accomplishment right now, it's still not enough. And you can still push for goals, and you can still have goals and push to meet those goals, and still feel that you're good enough, and still feel and bask in your accomplishments, you know, even though you know that it's not over, even though that you know that you're going to have another goal after you accomplish this one, and after you accomplish that one, you're going to have another goal, and you're going to have another goal. And that's great, right? To take full advantage of this life while you're on this planet alive. Great. But it doesn't mean that you have to feel like you're not good enough, so therefore you have to continue working. If you want to continue working, you're doing it because you're passionate about it, because it makes you happy, it fulfills you, you know, like, you like to achieve goals, not because you think that you're not good enough and every accomplishment you make is not good enough. It is good enough and feel good enough, even though you have another goal to hit after that, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but I just didn't like how that was feeling, and I just wanted whoever is listening to know, like, you have worked really hard and you should be proud of yourself, and you don't need anyone else to tell you. Like, you should know that for yourself. Like, there's no need to have that other people tell you that they're proud of you. That is a trauma-based reaction to something. So anyway, which the death card, we got the death card 3 times here. So 3, this month of July, you will be going through some sort of transition, transformation, transmutation, some type of shadow work, some type of healing work. There's a sense of going into the dark and facing something down there? So you face it, you see it for what it is, you realize where it comes from. Usually it is a moment in time where you had a negative experience that created a trauma. Go back to that moment and relive it. Where did it come from? How does it make you feel? Why did it happen? Usually it has to do with our caregivers. Understanding that it is not your reality anymore. Understanding that that was a moment in time. It has nothing to do with your self-worth. It has nothing to do with, you know, who you are as a soul person. It happened. It just happened. It just was. It like, it's no longer reality. It's not real anymore. And really heal yourself at that time that this thing happened and try to release it. And it's not a one-time thing. You can do this as many times as you need to. Go back to that moment, face it, accept it, release it. Go back to that moment, face it, accept it, release it, like a pattern until it doesn't affect you anymore. But yeah, a lot of work to be done this month, Capricorn, but I think you're good for it, obviously. Hopefully you can face some of these things. Congratulations on all of the accomplishments that you have recently made and that you are going to continue to make. And yeah, like the video if you got anything out of it. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and let me know in the comments so I can get a sense of your situation. I'm curious to know about it. But otherwise, have a wonderful month of July. Thank you again for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.